Hey guys, it's Asian Homie 101. Welcome back to my channel. So today I will be doing a review on the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. And I'm in the shade 53 Beige, Clair, or Light Beige. Now this foundation contains 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce. So that's a standard size for foundations from what I've seen at least. This foundation contains a pump, which means that it is sanitary at least up until the moment where you run out of foundation. Then you have to start going like this or grabbing your fingers to get in and however you get the rest of your foundation and all. This foundation claims to have a light coverage, a semi-matte finish, and it also claims to be an instant blending gel and gives you flawless complexion and undetectable coverage. It contains vitamin-rich fruits, lychee, goji berries, and pomegranate, and it also claims to be hypoallergenic. So I've been testing this foundation out for the past 2 months, but I received this foundation about almost 6 months now, probably 5 to 6 months earlier when I was in Canada. I bought this when I was over there in Canada. And this retails in the US for about $16, and you cannot get this foundation in the US, but you can get this online if you buy it on like websites like overstock.com, feelunique.com, and you can probably get this pretty around the same price, $16. I've seen it also a little bit less as well. I think I've seen it for $12 online as well. So yeah, definitely keep a lookout on this if you have normal skin or dry skin, or if you have slightly combination skin. Now, in case you guys do not know, I have oily skin. I have oily skin and I live in a very humid climate. Florida is very unpleasant to live in for the majority of the year. The weather sometimes is very, when you walk outside you just feel the humidity, if that makes any sense. You walk outside and you feel like it's very muggy. It's very difficult to wear makeup for the majority of the time. And so I felt like, hey, why don't I pick this foundation up if it claims to have a semi-matte finish and whatnot. However, let me just tell you this, that this foundation will not work for me for the majority of the year. However, that does not mean that this foundation is a complete bust, because I love this foundation for the winter. It gives a nice, beautiful finish. It's a very radiant, very illuminating foundation where it gives you a really nice glow. So that's the foundation I've been using pretty much the majority of this winter. But this foundation gives you a really nice radiant glow. You just look glowing. It looks beautiful in pictures. It doesn't give you a flashback. I haven't noticed that at all in my flash photography. Any ones I've taken off my phone or whatnot. I'll definitely link any videos that I've done with application of the Bourjois foundation up here in this in the corner, of course, for any of you guys who are interested in watching those videos. But this foundation I have really been enjoying for the winter. If you have really oily skin, but you live in when the winter comes, your skin is a bit drier, it's a bit more manageable, the oils don't come out and seep through as much as it does during the summer, I definitely think you should check this out for your winter foundation. I think it gives you a very nice finish. It's light coverage, but you can build it up to a pretty medium coverage. I use about 2 pumps of this foundation, 2 to 3 pumps whenever I'm trying to get to a medium coverage. If I want to be sure about my medium coverage, I usually stick to 3. 2 pumps will usually get me somewhere in the middle between the light and medium coverage. But I really do enjoy this foundation. I've used several application methods while using this foundation. I've used a brush, the beauty blender, and my fingers, of course. I've used several brushes. I've used the Expert Face brush. I just recently got an IT Cosmetics brush, the OMG foundation brush. It's a pretty good brush as well, and this foundation has worked really well in the application process. Using all these tools, I prefer to use my fingers or a brush just because I think it's faster than using a sponge. I think a sponge takes double the amount of time to apply your foundation and all. That being said though, this foundation is probably best for those of you who have normal to dry skin. Maybe if you're combination skin, so long as you don't live in a really humid climate and all. I find that for me, just this foundation alone without using a primer will last me from anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And maybe adding a primer along, it will just elongate it to maybe 1 or 2 more hours, depending on how the weather is that day, of course. For some of you, that's okay, where you don't really need a foundation to last you 12 hours a day. For me, however, sometimes my days are 12, 14-hour days, and I need a foundation to last me the whole entire day. And so this foundation doesn't really cut it for me on those days. I usually will have to touch up once or twice during the day using a powder foundation to put on top, just to make sure that I, cover up any spots where my foundation is breaking apart. It doesn't really break apart all over my face. It usually just breaks apart in the oiliest areas of my face, which is, you know, my T-zone area, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit onto my cheeks, not so much anywhere else. It will start to fade though around my lip area, mainly because, let's face it, I'm eating all the time. I'm rubbing my nose because it's winter and I'm like halfway to getting sick and halfway to not getting sick. But besides that, this foundation has been a really nice foundation for me to use during the winter. I really do recommend this for you. Those of you who have normal skin, dry skin, and maybe combination skin, to give this foundation a shot. This isn't as expensive as like NARS foundation, Lancome foundation, Estee Lauder foundations, where it's like over $40 now to buy foundation. This is about $16 US. I think a foundation in the drugstore that the Bourjois foundation is comparable to is the L'Oreal True Magic Lumi foundation. However, I do think that this foundation is a lot better than that foundation, because that the L'Oreal True Magic Lumi foundation breaks down on me immediately after the second hour. 2 hours, that foundation just immediately, like, I'm an oily grease ball by the end of the 2 hours. However, and that's in winter as well. Whereas this foundation here doesn't do that at all. I feel like this foundation has a better lasting power than that foundation. And therefore, if you're in between getting that, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and getting the Bourjois foundation, I'd say go for this one. I think this one is a much better foundation for you. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holidays right now. And hopefully within the next video or two, probably my next video, I'll be sharing with you my 2014 favorites. Alrighty, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you again so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you like my videos. Alrighty, it means a lot to me. Alrighty, thank you so much, and bye-bye.